Welcome. You're listening to Ask the Doulas, a podcast where we talk to experts from all over the country about topics related to pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and early parenting. Let's chat.
Hello, this is Kristin Revere with Ask the Doulas, and I am thrilled to chat with Chelsea Anderson today. She is the social media relationship manager for BabyBuddha and has 3 little girls and is also a certified lactation counselor, which is very important for our conversation today, which is all about supply and pumping. Welcome, Chelsea.
Thank you so much, Kristin. I am just so honored to be here today.
And I feel like there are so many misconceptions and so many products on the market. And with your unique experience as a mom and a lactation counselor in this space, there are so many stressors when it comes to pumping, whether it's exclusive pumping or supplementing with pumping.
Absolutely. And there's just not enough education out there and support for moms. So that is something I am certainly taking to heart and working towards.
So what are your tips for our listeners or the Gold Coast doula clients who are also listening to help prepare for their pumping journey, or again, using pumping as a way to feed baby?
One of the first things I always say is, although I am a certified lactation counselor, I like to speak as the mom. As the mom who has done it 3 times, I have lived through those postpartum days where everything feels difficult and you feel like your supply in your body is not doing enough. And something I like to mention every time I speak with a mom is that it's probably not your body. I want moms to know that there are products out there that all hold a different role in your breastfeeding journey. And it's important to know which ones are the foundations for your supply, which ones are going to help you maintain and build your supply, and which ones down the road are more for convenience. And my biggest tips and tricks that I can give for moms is making sure that you have those proper supplies, like a primary pump, which I know we'll get into after more on primaries versus wearables, and the importance and the role they play in your journey. And having this information and researching and learning and speaking to the lactation counselor even before you have your baby. Because once you have your baby, it's tiring, it's exhausting, and you don't want to have to then look and find the information. It's so nice to already have it before the baby comes. And that's something I'm trying to work on as well. And something that a lot of moms, you go into your journey thinking, I'm going to nurse or I'm going to exclusively pump, and you don't know how it's going to turn out. Every woman's experience is so different and than how you planned and imagined in your mind. And that's okay. And we have the support and what's out there now to help women navigate that, to achieve their goals to the best that we can. And something I like to remind moms too is, if you're not going to be nursing, think, how often is baby feeding? If your baby is having that bottle every 2 hours, pump every 2 hours. If your baby's feeding every 3 hours, pump every 3 hours. And what I see a lot is when moms don't nurse and they switch to the bottle, they tend to turn to pumping less frequently and do it 3 or 4 times a day. And then they worry, is it my body? And similarly with cluster feeding, it can get overwhelming. Those postpartum days, the nights and the days kind of blend together, and the baby might start wanting food every hour. It's important to know to mimic that with your pumping, because that's your baby's natural way of saying, hey, mommy's body, I need more milk. So we want to replicate that when you're pumping as well. So those are some of the most important factors for the earliest supply for your journey. And like I mentioned before, is a primary and a wearable. There only used to be a few products on the market. I mean, just 6 years ago when I had my first, there was 2 options and you were just stuck to your couch. And someone like me who had postpartum anxiety, that just made it all worse. And stress and anxiety can impact your milk supply so much. So now we have portable pumps, we have wearables, but it's so important to know when to use which one and how often.
It is overwhelming. I mean, my kids are early teens right now, and there was pretty much two brands. Insurance didn't cover pumps at the time. And I was fortunate enough to take a breastfeeding class in pregnancy that also included pumping because my daughter ended up in the NICU. And so she started on enhanced formula for glucose issues. I was pumping in the hospital. And so I needed to rely on that education I had from class, along with the lactation consultants in the hospital, to be able to transition from my image of breastfeeding my daughter directly to learning how to navigate the pump.
Yes. And that's so great that you had that education. I know so many moms and me, myself, and I just had a baby just as recent as 3 years ago. And I didn't even think to do that first. We're so busy making the baby registries, picking out the outfits. We put all that time and energy into these exciting things, which are awesome, that we don't think, or there's not enough out there to get moms that education beforehand. And then what happens is, someone like me, after I had the baby, my supply's crashing. I also have thyroid issues. So there's so many factors that I just didn't know about ahead of time. And it's kind of sets in like a panic right after you have your baby, when really we want to just be enjoying that time with our new babies and enjoying that postpartum life to the best that you can while taking care of yourself and healing. So I feel like that's so wonderful that you had been provided education and new resources beforehand. And I would love to see more of that. I would love to see more creators on social media and real moms sharing their experience, just sharing. I mean, that's part of what I do at BabyBuddha is I talk to real moms every day. I get to hear their story, their experience, what their expectations were for breastfeeding and where they are now and what made the difference to them. And I encourage them to share this because the more it's talked about, the more it's out there, the more moms will know ahead of time and be prepared.
Hey, Alyssa here. I'm just popping in to tell you about our course called Becoming. Becoming a Mother is your guide to a confident pregnancy and birth, all in a convenient 6-week online program. From birth plans to sleep training and everything in between, you'll gain the confidence and skills you need for a smooth transition to motherhood. Live coaching calls with me and Kristin, tons of expert videos including chiropractic care, pelvic floor physical therapy, mental health experts, breastfeeding, and so much more. You'll also get a private Facebook community with other mothers going through this at the same time as you, to offer support and encouragement when you need it most. If you'd like to learn more about the course, you can email us at info@goldcoastdoulas.com or check it out at thebecomingcourse.com. We would love to see you there. We also have a book called Supported, Your Guide to Birth and Baby, which makes a beautiful companion to this course. It's a great book for any expecting mother and is the perfect baby shower gift. You can find information on that book at supportedbook.com.
As you mentioned earlier, Chelsea, it's overwhelming to know what to put on the registry, what is worth investing in, which pump to get that your insurance covers, and what you should self-pay. And so I would love some of your tips. And then also explaining the difference with BabyBuddha, for example, and some wearable pumps.
Absolutely. So this is huge right now because with social media, there are so many people out there and so many brands showcasing the wearable. We do at BabyBuddha have one, and I have used them with myself for all 3 of my kids. But it's so important to know when you're building that registry, when you're having your baby, the most important thing is having a primary pump. Think of the primary pump as your everyday, your go-to. I can use this pump for every pump session, for the whole breastfeeding journey, and everything will be fine. I get my correct flange size, the motor is strong, the suction and the stimulation are all efficient to maintain, build my supply. So the primary pump is the foundational product. If you're going to get one pump free through insurance, have it be your primary because that's the one you're going to rely on. That's the one that you need. Now, down the road, once you have established your supply a little bit, I would say maybe in 3 to 6 weeks, but it's really different for each mother. Then you can look into something called a wearable or even collection cups. So collection cups would be my first suggestion. So we at BabyBuddha and many other products have where it's a collection cup that goes in your bra to collect the milk, but it hooks up to the primary pump motor. So you're still having the benefit of that stronger piston motor, which is giving out that efficiency to maintain and boost that supply, like I mentioned, but you're getting the convenience of that in-bra discrete collection cup style. So that would be my suggestion if you're first looking to go to convenience, but still having that sustainability. But there are also wearables. And the important thing to note with them is using them in general isn't going to hurt your supply. It's using them wrong. So a wearable is the style, if you don't know, for anyone listening, a wearable does not have any tubes or wires of any sort. They are little motors that go right in your bra and they collect the milk individually in each side. So they're great. They're discreet. They're great for working moms, but they're suggested to be used 2 to 3 times a day maximum. So if you think the average mom might be pumping for exclusivity, maybe 12 times a day, think of the wearable as you're like 2 to 3 times a day. You're in the pickup line for your kids at school. You're at the pediatrician. It is a great fill-in tool for those moments, but it is not to be relied on as your maintenance pumper. And there's so much out there right now online where moms are new moms and they're looking and they say, well, why would I want that pump that hangs around my neck or that I have to put on a table? It's bigger, which in our case, the BabyBuddha is a lot smaller, but moms still see the tubing and those flanges that kind of stick out. And they would just rather get the wearable because it looks smaller and more discreet. But it's so important to know there is so many reasons why the primary is considered a primary. Those tubings and those wires, and in many cases, those larger flanges, they serve a very important purpose pertaining to suction strength and stimulation. So I think it's so important to remember, though they don't look as appealing, they do serve an important role in your journey.
Agreed. So I would also love to touch on using pumps for relactation, Chelsea. And what is your experience with that?
That hits home to me because that is where I started my whole life journey here on social media. That is how I got linked in here with BabyBuddha, and I feel so strongly and love them for it because that pump made such a difference in my relactation journey. Relactation is the process of bringing your milk supply back after it's gone or almost gone. A lot of pediatricians like mine had told me it's impossible. And I talk to moms every week who say they were told it's not going to happen. And it is very possible. And in many cases, you can attempt to relatch your baby, but many babies won't relatch if there's no milk there, or if your breasts are only producing a few little drops. That is where a quality primary pump, like in my case, I used the BabyBuddha, is going to come into play as an important part of that journey. You're going to need to be stimulating your breast just like you had a newborn. Just think, I had a newborn and I need to trick it into thinking I just gave birth again. So by doing so, yes, using the primary pump like the BabyBuddha, it's small, it's compact, you can wear it around your neck because think now if you're relactating, you're not just sitting with a little baby usually. Your child's a little older if you're relactating. In some cases, women have adopted or they've chosen to bring their milk supply back. So having something like the BabyBuddha for me was great because it goes around my neck and it's convenient. I don't have to be stuck to a wall like other primary pumps, but I'm able to get in all 12 of those sessions and get that stimulation that is needed. I do want to mention when it comes to relactation, a quality primary pump like the BabyBuddha that I use is extremely important to get in those pumping sessions. Hand expression is a game changer. Hand expression is when you use your hands to express the milk directly. And the combination of physical stimulation and ability to extract milk is so valuable to a relactation journey that I often tell when I work with patients to hand express after every single pump session until you've reached a supply you're happy with. So relactation is not impossible. And I would love to see more education and information out there that moms can absolutely do it. I did it 3 times with all 3 of my girls had dairy allergies and health issues of sorts, reflux that caused me even as far out as 2 years later to relactate and bring my milk back. And it's so possible. And I just wish more moms knew that it is possible.
Great. Thank you for educating our listeners about options. And as you mentioned, adoptive parents can utilize a pump for lactation and certainly with surrogacy growing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is also a great option.
Certainly.
So as far as your other tips for our listeners, anything else to share?
Something that I want moms to know is to focus on yourself. When it comes to your breastfeeding journey, it's not always about a supplement, a quick fix. It's not about going out and searching for a product to make it better. Go back to the simple steps that you started with and remember the beginning. Milk removal, snuggle with your baby, skin to skin contact, give loving kisses. If you are a pumping mom, you can still pass through those pathogens and germs that are needed to give that breast milk, that customization that the baby would give if it was at the breast. Give lots of snuggles, kisses, take a bath together, and go back to basics. It's not always about, I'm going to drink this drink and my milk supply is going to increase. I'm going to take this supplement. Go back to where it was simple in the beginning when you had your baby. Spend some time on the couch together. Those hormones and relaxing can make all the difference for prolactin levels, and your milk supply really counts on it. So when you are feeling, and if you're feeling overwhelmed in any way, like something isn't going right, settle back down, relax for a minute, and you can also contact a local lactation counselor who can even come to your house. A lot of them offer virtual help. I know that if you have the BabyBuddha breast pump, that we offer free lactation appointments. We can set you up with getting free help with one of our certified IBCLCs, and then we would send you off to your local counselor. And it's not an all or nothing. If you are struggling to keep up with pumping 12 times a day, it's not a matter of that's it, I can't do it. It's all or nothing. There are certain ways we can work with moms who want to maybe just offer their baby a portion of their milk supply and can only pump for 4 or 5 times a day. So I think when it comes to pumping, it's becoming a lot more popular, and all there is information out there that it is customizable to moms, and every mom is different. And go back to basics, recheck your flange size. Your flange size can change throughout your journey. One breast, the solutions are often more simple than moms are out here searching with buying all these different products and trying different supplements. Going back to basics and trying to relax and focus back on just loving your baby can make all the difference.
Agreed. What do you feel about the changes in social media with women being more vulnerable about their journey, sharing stories like you did with pumping and relactation? What are you seeing?
I am seeing an explosion of moms sharing their journeys. And I like to think I'm helping to do that by getting these moms encouraged and feeling like their journey matters to share about, because even if it helps one person, I mean, who are you really as a new mom? Who are you going to kind of resonate with? You know, if you're hopping on social media and you're seeing somebody who's maybe putting on an ad, or maybe it's not even the real experience, it's a brand. Are you going to look at that and say, oh yeah, that makes me feel better? Or are you going to hear a mom be vulnerable and share her true experience, her struggles, and what really worked for her? That's going to draw you in. That is going to make you feel I'm not alone and I can do this too. And I would just love and encourage any mom, if you have a social media platform, maybe you're an influencer, if you share your journey, because the more it's out there, the less stigma there is around it. Pumping in public, I have absolutely pumped in drive-through lines and had people give me some silly looks. But you know what? Someone has to give out awareness. People have to get used to it. We breastfeed our babies in public. Why can't we pump in public and have that be seen as normal and comfortable as well? So the more we talk about it, the more we share on social media our journeys. Not only are you giving education to moms by giving a visual of what your real daily life looks like as a breastfeeding, pumping mom, but you're also helping educate other people who aren't pumping to know, oh, okay, when I see somebody pumping in public, this isn't something I have to stare at. This is just a normal mom breastfeeding or feeding her child. And it's nothing to be kind of like stared at, because I have experienced that myself. And though uncomfortable, I held firm and I was going to do what was best for my baby. And I'm hoping to make a difference in sharing that with all moms around the world, to know that it doesn't need to be looked upon as a bad thing, and that we're just trying to take care of our kids.
Normalizing that makes a huge impact, whether you're going through a drive-through or you're, again, pumping at work and people know that you're dedicated to it. It gives other women confidence to
absolutely
pursue that journey themselves.
That's so correct. The confidence is such a key role, because even years ago when I started, I had no confidence to even around family members be pumping. And I would be so embarrassed and hide in a room and leave events or not go to events. So I would love to not have that be the case for women as we move forward.
So how can our listeners connect with you at BabyBuddha?
So actually, I am always on our DM on Instagram. So if you wanted to connect with me, I will actually see all of your messages. So if you wanted to reach out, feel free to reach out on BabyBuddha's Instagram. That is me. So you can just hop on there. If you have the BabyBuddha and you needed some assistance, or you needed to check in with one of our internationally board certified lactation counselors, you can send us an Instagram DM as well, and I can get you set up with an appointment. And even if you just had general questions on the product itself, or you had any questions for me, you can reach out right on Instagram.
And the website is babybuddhaproducts.com.
Mm-hmm.
Where can listeners find the pump?
The best place right now is to check BabyBuddha's website, because on our website, we offer a lot of exclusive gifts. So we give away things with certain products like the BabyBuddha 2.0, which is our newest version of our primary pump. When you purchase it through our website, you can actually get the Easy Fit Flange Kit for free with it, which is our newest flange system that comes with not only a free flange sizing guide, so it takes away all the worry and the concern of figuring out your size, but it comes with an array of sizes. So you don't have to worry, oh, I need to run out and get this other size. I need to order it. It's all in the box. And this way, if down the road your size changes, you can remeasure and you have the supplies you need. Same with our wearable. If you were looking to get a wearable and you already have yourself a good primary, the wearable on our website does come with a heating, vibrating massager for the breast. So we prefer to have our heating mechanism and massager separate. So this way, if you're done with the heat, you can take that off and you don't have to stop pumping. But we do give it as a free gift on our website right now with the wearable. So I would say pop over to the website. Not only is there a lot of free education on there, but a lot of extra free gifts when you go through the website.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and all of your knowledge related to pumping.
Thank you, Kristin. It was such a pleasure to be here.
Thanks for listening to Ask the Doulas. For more information about Gold Coast Doulas, visit us on our website, goldcoastdoulas.com. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you like this podcast, please subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Thank you. Remember, these moments are golden.